Sean, I talked about your boss's amazing speech earlier in the week. But what happened yesterday was Gina Hancock from Hancock Prospecting handed a bulldozer to Pauline Hanson at the Townsville Bush Summit. You know, Javier Milei had his chainsaw, but Pauline's going to need a bulldozer to get through Canberra.
I think I'm calling it the orange bulldozer of hope and vision. And I mean, I think you sort of look at that, and that's really a metaphor for how she dealt with the sort of elitist Canberra press pack there at that speech. I mean, that speech itself was incredible. And they would be many in the Labor Party, many in the Liberal Party, and many in the media who are quite devastated at how well Senator Hanson performed because they underestimated her. And what she did is she outlined a vision, a conservative vision for Australia, and she addressed topics that no one else is prepared to go for, only One Nation. And she handled their questions with strength and leadership, and so that's what they're afraid of. And they are afraid that this bulldozer of hope that One Nation is coming for them.
I certainly hope so. Sean, I want to go back to something Pauline was talking about, which was the idea which I've talked about for years, which is great, why the ABC needs to be a subscription model and we don't need SBS because of the internet. But that metaphor of the bulldozer, we saw the get-up stunt, for example, right in the heart of Canberra. In the National Press Club, they were able to sabotage or attempt to sabotage. It actually worked in your guys' favour. Is that a metaphor for if you guys do get into government, the sabotaging that will occur within the bureaucracy of Canberra, attempting to sabotage every policy idea you have?
That's a really important point. And I'll give credit to Michael De Percy, who is a journalist at The Spectator. Yep. And he asked a question along those lines about essentially what is the Canberra swamp. You know, this is the bureaucrats, the established bureaucrats. This is things like the ABC. These are the unelected individuals in positions of power. I actually think that the government itself will be shocked with how much support there is for Senator One Nation's proposal to send the ABC to a subscription model. A lot of people support it. And not only that, the former chair of the ABC, Maurice Newman, has come out in support of One Nation's proposal to turn the ABC into a subscription model because it does not deliver on its permit, which is news. It is a propaganda arm of the Labor government, and people are sick and tired of seeing their taxes go to essentially fund Labor propaganda. And so that is why One Nation has put up this proposal. We'll scrap the SBS. It's not needed. We'll turn the ABC into a subscription model while funding services in rural and regional areas. But then beyond that, as Senator Hanson addressed in her speech, the Canberra swamp must be dealt with. And that means understanding that these bureaucrats, they work for the people through the elected representatives. And it would be it's the job of those representatives to stand up and say, no, you work for us, we don't work for you. And until we start to do that, and until government starts to do that, we will keep falling back into those same patterns. And that is one day we are so aware of that. We are so prepared for it, and we will not allow that to occur.
Excellent.